Cool. Okay, let's see if we can call Eugene here. Also, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Eugene. All right, we're just waiting to see if he picks up. Harshith, how you doing? Again, I have no idea if that's actually how you say your name. Hello.
Hello.
How's
Do
it
you hear me?
going? Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Great.
Perfect. Perfectly balanced. How you doing?
What one?
The sound is it's good. We can we
Yeah, I
can
think so.
we can do this. How
Yeah,
are you
let's
doing?
do this. Nice to see you.
Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself and talk about how you got into 3D before we jump into your
Um,
portfolio?
Maybe it's a long story short, but I started maybe from 2010 and doing some stuff in Source Engine, some BSP geometry looking stuff.
Yeah,
Doing not some 3D models and stuff like that. Just I don't know,
like
just
level design.
blocking.
Yeah. Dude, cool. And then
Uh,
it looks like in your most recent piece is actually some work. I don't know if the previous stuff is work, but I looked at is it Warno? It's like an RTS game.
yeah. You're right. It's uh, came back. How to say that? It's released not so early.
Yeah.
uh, it's fresh release. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So, okay.
so
So,
yeah,
I
it's
guess
my
we can.
first commercial project that I work on, and
Oh,
I
really?
can
Okay.
plus post in my portfolio.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like so when we look at your portfolio, I don't know if you're watching the stream as well, but
Yes, I watch a couple of streams
yeah.
and your channel in general.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your portfolio and right now I'm noticing so there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, it's
Your
almost like propin and level art.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's quite your thumbnails are quite organized, which is good.
Yeah,
Some of your
just
earlier stuff is just props, right? But it kind of
yeah,
like you start
it's
building
on
like
the
a format.
background.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, and your banner at the top is really nice as well.
Yeah, it's first thing I do on Artstation
Yeah. Let's
to
see
feel
here.
some I don't know mm, and organize the whole thing.
Mm. So okay, so you're actually a level artist, level designer, and an environment artist, or is that
Yes,
just kind of like
first
talking about it all?
by first places. First, I'm most interested in. So level art is most interesting. Level designer is a little bit, and environment is it's more like technical stuff. But
Mm.
I need to develop myself in this area more to make some practice in it. So most of all, I make level art slash level design.
Right. Yeah, it's that's a lot of roles to be doing all at once. But I think if you're at a small studio, it becomes pretty needed to be able to do multiple
Yeah, I think
things.
so.
So,
Some studios need two roles, so maybe three roles.
yeah. Um,
So
let's see with the Far Cry 3 and Far Cry Arcade. What is Far Cry Arcade? What is that?
yeah, it's like a game editor for Far Cry 5. You can create some maps. You
Oh,
have
okay.
only level art work, level art job. So you have all the models. You have terrain sculptor, and it's like a basic Unreal Engine and just all resources you have to build the scene.
Right. So it's kind of like just having everything, and you just are trying to make a
Yeah,
bunch of
just
stuff with it.
make some stuff and make it prettier. Make it
It's
pretty
really
and
interesting.
oh
Yeah, I mean, I think once you understand what Far Cry Arcade is, it makes a lot of sense. It's basically like their modding tool in
yeah.
a sense, built into the game.
It's you can make some gameplay, but it's restricted by limit of the engine and
Mm.
tools you have in this mods. I think.
I think what's really nice about this is it allows you to um, know how to like prop
Just
and
like
make an
propping,
interesting
yeah.
scene. Yeah, yeah. So you're just
Just
looking at
like propping and
composition.
set dressing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
so in chat, some people are like, "Oh, I wonder if that's misleading or not." And I think it's more about understanding what Far Cry Arcade is, um, because
And
like, and you say
uh,
in your details here, the environments created by Far Cry or in Far Cry Arcade, game editor for Far Cry 5. And then the software used is just Far Cry Arcade. So yeah, it makes sense to me, but I think it's like in your description you could add like a thing that says like all assets existing in Far Cry Arcade or whatnot.
yes, I probably do.
The Far Cry 3 stuff is that
It's
it,
just
very similar,
same editor, but it's not Far Cry Arcade.
right? So it's the same thing. It just wasn't packaged the same way by the team.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, standalone
Mm,
application, and who want to create some levels, they create it.
right. Yeah. So I would say just in this one as well, like just make sure that it's clear in the description, like how these are made, just so that
Yeah, just to
just
know
so
that
people don't
people,
get weird about
yeah,
it. um,
misleading.
yeah, you got to be careful about that stuff. And
Maybe
it
it's
looks
like a clickbait.
maybe. I
You
mean,
work
for
on a Far Cry.
some people will never know, and some people also don't even know if like they don't even read the description, so it can get
Oh,
if you can put it in the thumbnail somehow, like
mm,
uh, like Far Cry 3, and then under it it just says
fan art
like
maybe.
yeah, either well, man, it's really weird because you're not making the content either, right? But you're building the spaces. So it's
Yeah,
like
just
it's almost like you want to say like level editor or like mod.
yeah, just basic propping
Mm.
and all.
Yeah. Anyways, we won't write on that, but that's something to look at.
Yeah, just need to clarify this thing.
Mm. And then you have the dark forest. It looks like so it looks like you got a start in making game art through just having the benefits of having content that you can just play with
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and an
just
editor
this.
that's just kind of easy to use and you can just throw stuff around and make interesting shots. This
Yeah, you
forest
have
does
all
look
the
really dark.
resources, but yes. In this project, I have
Mm.
like how to say it, not project, it's just level test.
Mm.
Level, not level, art test. How to say it?
Oh, is it a test?
Uh, yeah, it's just for
Yeah.
test, for test job,
Right.
and they have me uh, short time. I have short time to do this scene. They give me just these resources and some blockout. So I, based on blackout, I make this scene.
Oh, interesting. So they even gave you all of the props and stuff. They just wanted to see what you could do propping wise.
Yeah, in a short period of time.
How short was it?
I don't know, maybe 4 days, 3 days.
Okay. I'm a big fan of art tests that are no more than 5 days. And like and what the test is actually can be done in 5 days. It's not like you're testing the person to see how much they can do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they really rely on this, so they want to mm, big quality, I think, and for short amount of time.
Yeah.
It's not
Y-
fair.
Yeah, it can get kind of crazy sometimes. I guess with this test or with this environment or test, the only thing that I'm really noticing is it feels very like flat in the lighting. I guess it's because you're trying to go for like a nighttime feeling.
Yeah, just like this.
Mm.
Just making some post processing.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, because you've really pushed down the highlights to try and like darken the scene. Um, Getting
Yeah,
the sky really dark and pushing the atmosphere to be
yeah.
darker
We
would
need
really help.
to change some skybox to black to make it more like a dark time or like a night.
Hmm. Okay, so this is a year ago, but then so since then it looks like you've been like if we look at the trash container.
Yeah, just making 3D models, practicing. I just started making 3D models, I think, from past year.
Oh yeah,
So,
okay,
so it's
nice.
really, really
It's
early stages on my development.
yeah, well, it's awesome that you have like so if you use the Matrix Awakening or Awakens
Yeah,
scene,
just for
it's like perfect for setting like getting your asset to look right because now it
yeah,
has to
how it's
blend in.
looking engine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the things that I notice here is it's always about scale, like making sure that the wheels feel right now the wheels feel quite large to me or it's very high off the ground, but maybe if a character is next to it, I wouldn't feel that way. Maybe it's
Yeah,
actually shorter than I think.
maybe I need to scale it a little bit more down.
Mm. What else am I seeing here? Maybe like the yellow paint pattern that's here feels a little thicker than you usually would see on
Yeah, maybe.
on that type of pattern. Uh,
On this asset, I try to make some variation in
mm,
awareness or roughness and stuff like this.
yeah, trying to get that variation between the different.
Yeah, yeah. So some glossy thing and some of not so shiny, I think.
Right. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a really good approach for like bringing detail to the surfaces, um,
Yeah,
for
but
almost for
on this
free.
asset is really, I don't know, bad wireframe and stuff like this, so I don't show it.
Oh, you don't want me to show the wireframe? I just scroll down and find it.
I don't know, maybe where is
Yeah.
this wireframe?
So
Wireframe.
one of the other things I'm noticing is when you're baking, you're seeing like a bit of a seam on the edges here. That might be because of your cage and like how it's being baked, or
Maybe, but I'm not
yeah.
baking textures here. I
Oh,
just
really?
making all this stuff in Substance Painter.
Dang. Okay. That might do it too because now I'm thinking like if that's the case, maybe this is like a seam from the displacement in the maps of Painter. Either way, it's
Maybe so. Maybe a
yeah.
painter bake it to some I don't know. Maybe materials,
Yeah, there's something's causing a seam on the edges there. But
or
considering
maybe
this is
I
just modeled is quite interesting.
yeah all these models and just go to a painter and
Hmm.
texture this.
Some other things that I usually notice. Sorry, I'm scrolling all over the place, but um, there's some smaller uh, normal map details that are in here. That usually what you'd want to do is most of the time those are just going to be in your roughness and maybe a little bit in the albedo, but you keep those out of the normal map and it tends to look much more natural. The paint feels like it might have metallic values in it.
Maybe
Let me
I
see
don't
if I
know.
can in this viewer.
Yeah,
This
this
viewer
terrible
shows all.
wireframe.
Oh yeah. um, let's see what so in here I would say the paint is possibly too saturated. It might be okay. It might be within range, but like if we look at the gloss values, let me see here, or maybe not the
Yeah, it's
gloss,
the
maybe it's the
roughness
normal.
thing.
Because yeah, in our normal, man, it's really hard to see in this viewer. But there's a lot of normal information. Hey, thanks for that raid. There's a lot of normal information that's in here that you usually would just leave up to roughness and albedo to take care of, or your color map.
Yeah, I think so. This
Um,
asset I just
yeah.
getting started on texturing on models.
Oh yeah. What I wanted to see was the metalness, but you can't really. You have reflectivity and gloss in here, so it's not really the same. Uh,
Yeah.
it views a little differently. Anyways, we can get on to the where we're at, like 15 minutes. I want to kind of get into this other stuff. So in these other Unreal scenes, it looks like there's a lot of like assets that you're utilizing from like existing stuff, and then are you also making your own prop?
Yeah, it's my own prop on the top of the screen.
Yeah,
It's a Canon. It's Canon made by me, but
yeah, that's cool. It's also nice to I'm seeing progress in the quality of your art from the previous one to this one. There's a lot more like fidelity going on in here. Is
yeah,
this one using like a baked process or?
yeah, I just make some I know high poly in ZBrush and
Mm,
take to low poly and try to mm, to restrict that poly count. Try to
yeah,
not over budget.
yeah. I think the one thing that sticks out to me is how thick the metal is in the front of the cannon, and then the edge
Yeah,
that's
maybe
really sharp.
transition is yeah not so smooth.
Yeah, so if that was just a little bit like a bevel or two, and then the thickness of the metal, if that was like half, it would probably feel pretty natural. Because it's right
Yeah,
now it's really
maybe.
thick. That's a lot of. I can't imagine how heavy this thing is. Like that piece of wood in the front, there's no chance that piece of wood would snap like no one's business. Uh,
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
I,
in inside of inside this beam there are some metal sheet in here,
yeah, maybe.
but
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
just an imagination.
So the other thing too is like with the wood beam here, like when you have the end pieces, we should show like the wood rings, right? Showing the inside of the wood,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
like or
yeah. I
like
get it.
or some type of cap on it. It could even be a metal cap on the top of it, just
Yeah,
something so it's not breaking the
uh,
illusion.
it's also from room 8 studio test, open test.
Mm. Oh,
So
interesting.
based on the concept, I did this thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's a huge upgrade from the last asset. I'm curious
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah, in this I have only in this model I have only 6K or 8K, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. This is pretty.
10K, yeah.
This is
10K
pretty nice.
triangles.
And the other thing I wanted to mention too is the let me see if I can get the better view on this. So when you're building an asset like this, it'd be really nice to see the maps, like the texture maps inside of
Oh yeah.
like as an image, because
It's like on my profile hat.
oh yeah, yeah, because like
Maybe
these
something
renders at
like
the
this.
top are really nice because it puts it in context and you can see it matching the scene really well. But
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
medieval theme.
the other thing too is like so these two images are basically the same but flipped, or they feel like the same. You could probably just do one of these, and then this one could be like the texture breakdown to just show the maps. So that way
Yeah,
we can
I think so.
understand how you're thinking about your albedo and how you're approaching your roughness and just like how the bakes look like. It gives us a also a good sense of like how you're utilizing your UV maps, right? Like how are you overlapping UVs at all and stuff like that.
Oh, maybe.
But
But
cool. We'll keep cranking through here. Um, this apocalypse scene. So quick scene created using Unreal Engine 4 with the help of Megascan. So is this kind of just like using Megascans
It's
and
same like Far Cry Arcade,
yeah.
but in Unreal Engine.
You know,
Only low
I'm
art.
I'm trying to think how to brand these types of content. I think if you put down here, so of course it's Unreal Engine. You could use the Unreal logo, right? And instead of Unreal Engine next to it, you could write something out like I don't know, like a play on words with Megascan. So it's like instead of Megascan, it could say like Mega Sketch, and it's just like a branding of using Megascans to build scenes.
Maybe.
Megascan, chat's cracking me up. So compositionally, it's quite interesting. It feels like you're under something. It's like a collapsed
It's
road
just
or
for low art test.
yeah. Oh, this was an art test as well.
Yeah, it's I passed this test and I have worked for maybe almost 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they
This was
just send me concept and concept art, and based on this concept art, I make this scene. But
right,
on the resources, only resources I have
dude. The
something
art
like
tests are
this.
crazy, man. They can get kind of out of hand sometimes. So this is Stash, simple scene created just for fun and playing around with Quixel Megascan's assets. Man, I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
just
that a logo for people to use. It's like Mega Sketch or Quixel Megascan sketches or something like that, because you can show a completely different skill set and not having to worry about the assets themselves, but more like thinking about composition and world building or like creating a space and making it believable or just focusing on lighting and composition.
we just see some stuff on our station that people just bring some I don't know, some scenes that were already created and making real light,
Yeah.
real light in life, in night day or
Mm-hmm.
night or day.
Yeah, doing a bunch of different lighting scenarios. I think.
Yeah, but I'm not
Mm,
making this on this scene. I
no.
just focus on just making some assets, playing around with assets and basic
Yeah, just trying
lighting,
to put it together. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
and maybe more brighter light or maybe
Mm,
more not so bright.
yeah, but so what I'm noticing in this scene is with the lights. So this one in the back, first the lights don't really feel like they're on, but they are on, right? So it's like seeing a bulb or something like a light that's actually quite bright. If you were able to get some atmosphere in here, you could, or like turning up your volumetric fog, you start to get the cone that can show
I
you the
guess
light is coming out. Um,
it's a
yeah,
bit cooler.
yeah,
Maybe I rework the scene, but I don't know. Maybe I leave it like this and go through and make some new stuff. I mean, new work.
yeah. I
I
think
don't
it's
really want to back the old
I. So
work.
I usually don't suggest people go back to previous work
Yeah,
because it's
it's
like
right.
just learn from it and keep going forward. But yeah, so there's like you've got so with lights, I would say if you had like an IES profile, I don't know if you're familiar with that. That'll give you
Mm,
light shapes from like the light source, and then
oh,
also like working with emissives and post processing to get the bloom to a good like uh, I don't know where it feels naturally like bright. If that makes sense. But yeah,
yeah, I
figuring
think
out
so.
how to like position because I think this I can't tell if this is a cone light or a point light. It looks like it's a point light because it's also lighting up the ceiling.
Oh, it's I think point light or
Yeah.
spotlight and point light all together.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, because with the metal, it would turn a spotlight, which is what all bulbs are, right? It would turn the point light, sorry, into a cone, just because of the shape of the source that it's coming through, or the frame
Yeah.
of the light itself. But yeah, let's go on to, because we have a few more minutes. I just wanted to talk to you about the Warno,
Okay,
because
let's
you
go.
yeah, because this is quite this is 6 months ago. You were building like a RTS map.
It's based on their own engine called
Mm,
Eugene system,
mm.
something like this. Eugene system company, but they have Eugene system engine.
Yeah, and that's what you're using for the making the maps.
Yeah, I have just resources that they have created, and I limited to, I think, uh, 2x2
Mm.
to 2x2 square. In this square, I need to build some scene, some like dioramas.
Oh, interesting. So you're like, it's almost like you're given a plot of land and then you just kind of build
Yeah,
inside of
I
that.
just have this land, and they put this land on world map, something like this.
That's an interesting approach. I've never worked on an RTS, so I have no idea how any of that even is put together. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it's
quality of the
complicated.
assets is very small, right? Like the quality is very light.
Yeah, because on this RTS game is from you play from 2 kilometers high, so
Oh my
in
gosh,
atmosphere, but you can zoom it on this level.
that's really interesting. I would be curious to see what the game looks like at that view, because we don't really see that in here. We see
You
these
see
more
just all the
close up
map
shots.
from above.
So does it kind of looks like a satellite image then?
I think so, yes.
Yeah,
And you see the borders of the map.
right. Oh, that's really intriguing.
It's strange, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit in a RTS game. For me too.
So was that just like a contract job, or are you there currently? We're like working with them.
Just work for outsourced company
Okay.
called Volmi Games.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
I
see it
was
here.
hired by this work on post-apocalyptic scene. They got me hired, and I worked for them, and also work on Shutterline game, if you know, if you hear it. But
No.
it's a PvP PvE shooter, but it's not game now. It's just on
Oh, this one.
yeah, Shutterline.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, cool. Oh
Yeah,
man,
and
this.
also work on Ubisoft like you, but on role junior game tester.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Man, it's. I don't think people realize how important testers are.
yeah, very very important, but it's hard job to
Yeah, it
do,
is.
and
So okay, so what are you planning on doing next? Like, what are your plans for yourself as an artist before we get out of here?
I don't know, just develop myself in and create some models, props,
Hmm.
and create scenes with my own props, not just uh, grab some prop that already created, something like this.
Right.
On this work, by the way, I make this how to say it uh, white magazine created by myself in model and stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All the scene is Megascan, but my but white I don't know white magazine is mine.
Right.
It's on top. Yeah, here.
Interesting. Yeah, dude, it's really so sometimes it can be really difficult to people for people to understand like what's Megascan and what's not. I don't look at the library nearly enough to be able to recognize it. I think what would be really uh, nice to see is like a screenshot showing everything, and then the thing that's yours. Like if the whole image was black and white, and then
Yeah,
the stuff that you had made yourself, if you highlight those, like when it gets pretty intermixed, that could be really interesting. I don't know if there would be
I
a good
think
way
so.
of doing that in Unreal to make it easier on yourself, so you don't have to sit there masking everything out.
Hmm.
But no, it's just cool. I mean, you have a good sense of like trying to build like a world out and having things placed in a logical position. I think.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
think
go
that's
ahead.
the way.
Um, I think the only things I would adjust on your portfolio is just the thumbnails are making it clear what's when you've made something and when it's like when you're using like existing assets. Mainly with the Far
Just
Cry stuff. I think the other things are fine.
great.
But do you have any questions before I jump out of here?
Oh, questions. I don't know.
Well, if you
Maybe.
have any, if you can't think of any now and you have some later, you can message me.
Oh, I'm glad. I want to thank you that I find you on YouTube channel
Yeah, I need
that
to
you
post more
make
videos
in.
on there.
Huh?
I need to post more videos on there. It's
Yeah.
been a little while.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, but I find you by videos that you make some
Mm.
sad dressing propping. Maybe it's stream, I don't know.
Oh yeah, those are
It
the old
was
ones.
yeah, you're making some stuff in Division 1, I think, or
Oh, that
Division 2.
video, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved that video. It's like
Yeah,
me
it's
and
such a great video.
it's like three
Cool.
hours of me just building.
Yeah, it's cool to see when you someone builds a scene
Mm.
or making some set dressing. Mm, I glad uh, to to watch some videos like this
Yeah,
more.
those are really fun to do, and when you can show people um, how it happens, especially
Yeah, it's
when they're
cool.
just like non-developer people, it's like really it's intriguing. And that's an old
Yeah,
video. Anyways, I have to jump to the next call, but if you have some questions, just message me. I can get back to you,
okay, great.
and I'll
It's
post
really
your
cool.
video in the chat once they're all on YouTube. They'll all be
Great.
offline, but you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, it will be cool to
Cool,
make
man.
in
Well,
history.
it's I mean, you can sign up again in like a year, and we can talk about progress.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I have some work to publish that I have work on commercial
Oh,
basis.
nice. Yeah,
So
yeah. Post it in the
it will be
finished
cool.
channel. But okay,
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
talk to you later then, and welcome to
yeah.
the community as well.
Yeah. Thank you, and
All right,
we'll be in touch.
of course. All right, talk to you later.
Yeah. Talk later. Bye.
Bye.